Hello friends, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel if you're enjoying the instruction that I'm giving you. So today we're going to be going over the top 3 vibrato mistakes that I see students make all of the time. So the first and biggest mistake is trying to learn vibrato too early. If you've only been playing for a couple weeks or a couple months, you are not ready to learn vibrato. Vibrato is not the end-all be-all of violin playing. Vibrato is basically like a sparkle, a shimmer. It's like Nike swoosh on your shoes. It's like a decoration. It's not the meat and potatoes of violin playing. Before you start vibrato, you need to be sure that, first of all, you have a great posture, you have a great bow hold, you're relaxed when you're playing, you're relatively tension-free. You have pretty solid intonation, you have a solid tone. And I also like to teach shifting before vibrato as well. Shifting greatly widens the amount of pieces that you can play, so I do think learning shifting before vibrato is ideal. Obviously, every student is different, but I would be very hesitant to introduce vibrato to a student that has been playing for less than a year. This is not a race. There is no rush. You have plenty of time, so please do not start learning vibrato until you are ready, until you have all of those all of those things down, because if you start it too early, it's going to be a lot harder than it has to be. The second thing is not involving the knuckle. So when we're doing vibrato, it's very important that our knuckle be loose. It's basically going back and forth like that. If your knuckle is tight like that, chances are your vibrato is going to be tight as well. So here's one of my favorite exercises for loosening the knuckle. You're going to make your hand like an OK symbol, and then you're basically just going to do that on all of your knuckles. They should be very flexible. You see how mine bounce? That's what you want to see. And then when you're doing vibrato, very slow motion, it should be like this. So you can see my knuckle is going back, and then at regular speed, you can see my knuckle is flexible, right? Obviously, it's not moving as much as it did when I was going very slowly, but you really need to have your knuckles move and be flexible while you're using vibrato, otherwise it's going to sound too tight. And the third thing has to do with wrist vibrato. So when we are doing wrist vibrato, we actually don't want our wrists to move. I know it's a little counterintuitive, but the biggest mistake that I see with wrist vibrato is the wrist going back and forth like this. So something like that, okay? So when we're doing wrist vibrato, we want to pretend like someone has a string right here and is pulling on our knuckles. So it's basically this motion. My wrist is staying still. I'm going back like that. So to fix this or to practice this, go up to 4th or 5th position so that your wrist and your hand or your palm is fully against the shoulder of the instrument. That gives you like a barrier, and it's impossible for your wrist to move. Once you feel good about playing up here like that, you can go back to 1st position. So be sure you're not making any of these 3 vibrato mistakes. If you're struggling with vibrato or just struggling to learn in general, check out the link in the description. There's an application to apply to be my student and join my private studio. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you guys so much for watching.